magazine. I, David, would like to welcome you all. I'm genuinely glad that you came. I'm very happy that you were able to make Detroit as one of your stops for the theatrical performance of Fela, the musical.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
I'd like you to tell Detroit about yourself. First of all, tell them who you are.
Okay, my name is Ghariokwu Lemi. My friends call me Lemi Ghariokwu. I'm a fine artist, graphic designer, and illustrator from Nigeria. I was born, bred, and buttered. Bred and buttered in Lagos. My call to fame, the body of works I did on the cover art for record sleeve jackets for Fela and Kuti's music career. As an individual artist, I designed most of Fela Kuti's covers, in the sense that I designed 26 of his covers. His whole career, I guess he has like maybe 55 or 60 albums, but I designed 26, and for a period of time spanning 1974 to 1993, which is 3 decades, the 70s, the 80s, and part of the 90s. So my art effectively branded Afrobeat music, so to speak. So that's my call to fame. So that's why I'm on this journey.
Oh, okay.
The journey of my life presently.
I was told that right now Detroit is fortunate enough to have you working on a mural in it.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate to have you, grace us with your art. It's been a while since we've had any artists, at least not at your caliber, say, yes, I have no problem with, leaving my mark, for you all to appreciate and enjoy,
Yeah, actually, it was quite interesting when I was informed about a mural. There's this young lady called Rachel Mundi. She sent me an email and said she's looking forward to meeting me when I get here, that there's a mural she wants to work on, that she would be honored for me to collaborate with her. And when I came, she has good spirits. As a young person, she has a dream.
Yes.
And I always love to support any human being that has a dream, especially the young people, youth. When they have a dream, I love to work with them.
Yes.
So we were able to work on that collaboration. The mural is in the corridor, the spiral stairs to the music hall main auditorium itself. It's a small piece of crass art. So it's beautiful. Everyone that saw it on the opening night, I love it. It's titled Renaissance.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So big up to Rachel Mundi.
Rachel Mundi. Yeah. She's a class act. I can definitely tell you that much. Right now with your pedigree and creating the aesthetic presence, or to the extent even the mimetic presence of what Afrobeat music is for Africa, because it's I guess what I wanted to ask is, how did you and Fela first find that you had that the working relationship was something that was definitely the spark?
Yeah, I believe strongly in predestination. I believe in destiny. I believe there was a reason why I met Fela at that point in time. My destiny and Fela's destiny crossed paths because we had a mission to fulfill. That mission, I tell everyone that cares to listen, is the goal of mental liberation for the African people across the globe. So I self-taught. I didn't study art formally, so I learned by checking out things, going to galleries, artist studios, asking questions, then reading up, art books and all that. So because I self-taught, I used to give myself assignments. I'm my own teacher. At this point in time in 1974, there are two incidences that determined my professional destiny. Item one, I used to do portraits for people in my neighborhood those days, and this guy called ODC owned a bar, a drink place just next door to my parents, and he commissioned me rather to do his portrait. He commissioned me to do the poster of Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. That was the year Enter the Dragon was released. It was a box office hit across the globe, Nigeria included. So I had to do the painting of the poster of Bruce Lee, which contained three major actors: Bruce Lee, John Saxon, and Jim Kelly. So I did it for this bar owner, and he framed it and put it in his bar. So when people came to drink, they'll see that painting. That's item one. Item two, Fela released the album called Rofo Fight, the music of Fela, and I got a copy. As I was looking at the jacket, it had a photograph of Fela singing into a microphone, and my spirit just said to me, why don't you do your own as practice? And Rofo is a Yoruba word which means mud, like fight in the swamp or fight in the mud. Right. And the song actually is describing two friends who got into fisticuffs in the mud. Fela characteristically was relating the story, and he's saying other people were telling them, don't fight, because there's mud where you are. Right. And they didn't listen. Right. Eventually they fought, and all their body got muddy, and now they became like twins. You could not recognize one from the other. That's the moral of the story. Right. But as I was listening and I wanted to do my own version of the cover, I didn't bother myself about the lyrics. I bothered myself about the vibe that I got from the music. So I illustrated Fela dancing on mud, not fighting. And I put in the graphics, Fela and Africa 70 Rofo Fight. So I had that. Now there was this journalist in Nigeria then, he was working for Sunday Punch newspapers. His name is Babatunde Harrison. He lives in Oakland. He's been in Oakland for like 30 years. I reconnected with him some while back after like 25 years. It was very interesting to meet him again. So Babatunde Harrison, at that point in time, had traveled to the United States of America when I did the Bruce Lee poster for the bar owner. So Babatunde came back from his trip. He was a regular at that place, but he wasn't around when I did the poster. So when he got back, he went to drink. He saw the poster. I said, who did this? And they said it's a small boy next door. Yeah, and he said he wanted to see the boy, so he came. He saw me and he said I should show him more drawings. So I brought out my portfolio. I was showing him drawings, and he saw the Fela cover that I did. So he said, can you do album covers? I answered in the affirmative, but reluctantly. I wasn't sure of myself. But as a matter of fact, I had done 2 covers before that. I did one cover art for my uncle. My uncle had a high life band, and I was learning to play the high life guitar with him, but I didn't concentrate. I would have been a musician if not for art. So I now designed the cover for his album, but it was not published. The record label, record company, Decca West Africa, then said it was too colorful. They didn't have a budget for that kind of art cover.
Oh, printing wise.
Yeah, printing wise. For a small, my uncle's band is still a fledgling high life band, so it wasn't published. That was my first attempt at cover design. I was just practicing. Yeah. But I didn't know it's my destiny to be a designer of sleeves. You understand? Right. Then I used to go to the television station to do live drawings of the TV presenters. When they're having a program, I'm drawing, and they'll show me, the program. I met a musician who had a hit at that point in time. He came to be interviewed, and he saw me, you know, drawing, and you know, he was really happy, and we became friends. Now he recorded an album, and I designed his cover, and that was my first album cover to be published. That was around late 1973 or early 74. So now when the journalist asked if I do covers, you know, I said yes, but you know, I was very young, I wasn't too sure. And he said to me, 2 days before that day, he and Fela were discussing ideas, you know, about cover art or something. So I looked at him, I was wondering, does he know Fela? You know, I didn't believe him. You know, I was looking like, this guy is drunk because he's coming from the bar, you know?
Right.
And he said to me, he would bring a picture of Fela for me to do a portrait as test. So the next day he brought the picture. Then I started feeling like, oh, this guy must be serious. So I did a portrait of Fela. And the third day, the guy came to drink. I showed him. He said, oh, I'm not going to drink now. He just stopped going for the drink and said, let's go. So I told my mom, I said, he wants to take me to Fela. My mom said, be careful, you know? And the guy hailed a taxi and took me to Fela, just like a dream. So when I got to Fela's place, Fela saw me and said, are you the artist? I said, so I realized that the guy was saying the truth all along. Yeah. you know when you see somebody who likes to drink, you just feel like the person is not serious. Yeah. So now Fela said 2 words when he saw the portrait. It was the first time ever I had those 2 words. He loved the portrait so much. He said, wow, god damn. You know, and you know, it was really interesting. He brought out his checkbook and wrote out a check for 120 naira. This time, the naira was superior to the dollar. The dollar was like 70 cents value to the naira.
Wasn't it around time oil embargo?
Yes, the oil boom.
Yes,
era.
yes.
So 120 naira is like maybe $200. Yeah, and I used to earn 30 naira, like $50 for my portraits. Fela didn't know how much I earned, but he gave me that money. You know, it was like 4 times what I earned. And my spirit said no. So I said to Fela, I said, no, I don't want money. I give you, you know, the portrait from the bottom of my heart. And Fela was surprised. And he tore out a sheet of paper and wrote out a gate pass saying, please admit bearer any show free of charge. I collected that. That was my ticket to Calcutta. So that was the beginning. So a couple of weeks later, the police attacked Fela's house. And he was injured. He had a fractured skull, so he was hospitalized. It was big in the news. When I heard, I was worried. You know, I just met him recently, so I waited for Pt-A.X to come and drink next door, and I went to him. I said, "Uncle, is Fela okay?" He said, "Yes." He said, "He's in the hospital." I said, "When I finish drinking, I'm going. Will you like to follow me to the hospital?" I said, "Yes, I'll go." So he took me to the hospital, and as we got, Fela was in a private room. He had like 20 people in the room with him, and he was talking, you know. We got there, we tried to move close to the bed because there are so many people. We inch our way gradually. When we got close enough to the bed, he saw Pt-A.X. I said, Tunde, you know, and Tunde pointed at me, and Fela looked at me and said, the artist. Wow. You know, something just came over me. It was mystical. I think it was at that point that I took up, you know, the mantle of the artist. I took up that role subconsciously. I didn't know at that point in time, but